Prefect joke of the day. What did the grape say when it got crushed? What? Nothing. It just let out a little whine.
Sit down. I'll do it. Okay. Please be seated. Hard to follow one of our heads of school with that joke. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome back our returning students after their summer break and extend a huge welcome to all those new students and staff in chapel today. We've got some visual stimulation, which might be a little challenging for those right at the back. For many of you, this is a new campus and new adventure with fresh challenges to face. There'll be moments when you are lost, unsure, and a little wobbly over the next couple of days and weeks as you learn the rhythm of Shawnigan. Please do not hesitate to ask fellow students and staff for direction and guidance. For those returning into a new academic year and the next grade, new experiences and challenges await you. As I said to the new parents yesterday, the plaque at the base of the Shawnigan Stag reminds us that it will watch over all who enter these grounds, a reassuring message to us all. It's impossible for me to define this is Shawnigan, the spirit of the place. But what I can tell you is that the pillars of a successful and flourishing coeducational boarding school are conversation, compassion, and community, and courage. Courage to step forward for new challenges, new opportunities. All four are very much at the heart of Shawnigan. It's vital that we remember that our school is a Canadian boarding school located in beautiful British Columbia, and our local surroundings combine to create a playground of the gods. Our aim is to introduce you to the history of the place. Last week, staff attended a day of professional development to learn about various Indigenous ways. The Pro D was filled with experiential learning, ranging from playing lacrosse to storytelling to making dream catchers to learning about the ways of council, to reenacting Canada's colonial past, and was delivered by Indigenous elders, athletes, artists, and educators. The objective of the day was to reach a better understanding of Indigenous ways that will, ultimately, foster healthy community building. Our responsibility is to pass on this learning to our students. Again and again, I meet members of staff, students, parents, and alumni who identify the unique sense of community to which we all contribute at Shawnigan. Shawnigan is defined by our commitment to generosity, kindness, and respect for each other. We tread softly around other people's dreams. From the outset, it is the expectation that we all make a positive and supportive contribution and make a difference to our Shawnigan community. Chapel is very much at the heart of that. We gather here as representatives of many faiths to connect, share, and support. Friendship is a vital ingredient here. The shared experiences and conversations between individuals is, I believe, part of the magic of this school. What you learn about yourself and your friends along the way is at the heart of the experience. Looking back over the summer, much has happened under the Shawnigan banner. I've heard many reports of student activities and achievements, from travels and community service to success in sports competitions. The campus has been buzzing with activity, hosting just under 5,000 visitors during the summer season, from supporting Syrian refugees now based in the Cowichan Valley to hosting sports camps. I'm hugely grateful to those students and staff working on campus who contributed to the successful delivery of all the events. We also currently have Disney on campus. Earlier this summer, our school was approached by Disney to be a film location for a production of the Upside Down Magic book series. The film follows the misadventures of Nori, the youngest in a family of magicians, who finds herself relegated to a class for misfits after one magical mishap too many. The campus has been transformed over the past few weeks into extraordinary set locations. Shawnigan has become the magical world of Sage Academy, with chapel, Mitchell Hall, Marion Hall, the library, and Renfrew House completely reimagined. Drew, the film producer, sent me a message yesterday. He said, "Thank you for your team's support and guidance in making Shawnigan Lake School and its beauty the lead character in our story." Some of our local students took the initiative to audition for roles as extras and have been working as part of the cast. Creating this slideshow for you this afternoon, I got carried away and reimagined some of our staff who have been working with the Disney film crews. Some of you will know Mr. Smith, who runs the recording studio. He's reimagined as Dumbledore, and Mr. Trafford, who runs our film arts program as Harry Traffer. And of course, my personal favorite of our wonderful director of admissions, the wonderful Mrs. Samuel. If interested, you'll have an opportunity to observe filmmaking in action this evening, up in the wood, behind the sports complex, and up at the pavilion. We plan to host a screening of the movie when it's released for the Disney Plus channel next summer. I'd also like to thank all staff involved in running pre-season sports camps and grade 12 gatherings last weekend, and the prefects and grade 12s for giving our new students such a wonderful welcome yesterday. We're also delighted to open Stanton House for grade 8 girls with Miss Gill, Miss Lynn, and Mr. Venables as the staff team. Stanton House is named after the first school nurse at Shawnigan, Eleanor Stanton, who worked here from 1918 to 1962. She was a remarkable woman who nursed the students, taught physical education and cricket, was chief gardener, and swam in the lake every day from April to October for 43 years. She rose to all Shawnigan challenges, no matter what arose, even standing on the running board of our founder's car as he drove the Malahat in thick fog to ensure he did not go over the edge of the mountain because the road was not marked and there were no fences in those days. It's a fitting tribute to one of the first female members of staff that we open a house, a home away from home, in her honor this week. We've chosen the logo of the oak tree and acorn in reference to the Lonsdale oak, which stands between Stanton and Lakes. My message for the term ahead is work hard, connect, be thoughtful and mindful of others, respect our campus, share a sense of place and belonging, and do and be the best you can be. I'm certain that you will not remember what I said this afternoon to launch the academic year, but I hope that you remember how you felt sitting together in your houses for the first time. I shall finish with a quotation from Michaela, one of our heads of school, who welcomed the new students yesterday. In her address, she perceptively observed, "Shawnigan is truly one of a kind. It's a home, an identity, and a place that opens the doors to unimaginable opportunities." How true. Enjoy yourselves, and good luck with the term ahead. Over to you, Rev.
So nice to see you all here. It's kind of exciting. Anybody read Upside Down Magic, this book that the... Yeah, I know, it's a little embarrassing, but I know some of you have your hands up. So the chapel was transformed, I understand, into this place where the students at the Sage Academy would do magic in order to determine which house they went in. So it was kind of a magical place. And one of the things that's happened is that a fairly significant number of the hymn books, I think, have magically disappeared. Is that right? Coatmans? You don't have any hymn books back there. So I'm just going to ask you to share around the hymn books because we are going to sing a hymn. So if you have enough in your row, maybe pass them on. If you could do this quietly, that would be great. So for those of you who have been here for a while, you'll be able to sing lustily this next hymn. For those of you who are new, just listen for now and kind of join in as you can. I'll talk more about the importance of singing in chapel at another time because I think you'll get it pretty quickly. It's really a very key element to our kind of coming together as community and the bonding that happens when we come together in chapel and sing. So we're going to sing hymn number 12, Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah. So if you'll open your hymn books to hymn 12 and please stand. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. See, there's nothing I could have said that would have been better than that. Just wonderful. Thank you. So nice to be back and to hear that singing again. So as I said, this chapel was transformed into the kind of sorting room, and the magic students, they had to perform magic in order to find out kind of what level they are. And I think you did that today. Did you go and swim and see where you were at the swimming level? It's the same kind of thing. But, for us, except for that swimming thing, we're all starting in the same place today. We're all starting a new year, and none of us have anything to prove to anyone here. We've just come to do our best day to day and meet the opportunities that come along and, achieve wonderful things in our areas of strength. But we start kind of in the same place, especially in chapel. We're all in the same place and we're all together starting out. And so we just really, we just need to support each other as we go. Really, and be quick to lean on each other if you need that, if you're feeling a little homesick or whatever. I just want to say a very few words about chapel, maybe some reminders for many of you, and certainly some of you haven't heard any of this before. But just in terms of, I know Mr. CB got up and said something at the beginning I didn't hear, but I think it was probably, you're talking too loud, there's too much noise in here. And you know, I really want you to understand this idea of decorum in the chapel, that we really try to create a balance between the formal in here and the informal. So it's absolutely fine for you to come in and talk softly to the person next to you, you know, when you need to, but it also is a place where we try to maintain some sense of formality. And that comes from a number of places. It comes mostly, I think, from just the respect for the tradition of Shawnigan and what this chapel has meant for the last 100 plus years. So I don't know if that's too vague, but can you do that, kind of maintain that balance between formality and informality? And okay. The other thing that I wanted to say is that, you know, over the course of the year in chapel, there'll be people getting up to read, there'll be people getting up to speak, there'll be people getting up to perform music and to sing. And that's a really important part of what happens in here. It's a place where people share their gifts and offer their gifts. And we'll talk more about this as we go on as well. But whenever someone gets up here, we really would, rather than see it as a performance, see it as an offering. And we have amazing offerings. We have people get up who are remarkable musicians in this community. So just something to think about from the very beginning. So if any of you, as you know, if you've been here for a while, if you have a gift that you'd like to offer in chapel, if you're a musician, the protocol is to go to Mr. Connolly Jr. or to Ms. Tyrrell and talk to them about that. If you want to read or be in God Squad, I won't talk about what God Squad is right now. I think there's 3 chapel prefects this year. Do you know who you are, chapel prefects? Can you stand up? There's one more somewhere. Where are you, Issa? Yeah, there you are. So these are the chapel prefects, and if you want to participate in chapel, you can either track them down, or more likely they'll track you down at some point. So when they do that, please say yes. So, you know, I just want you to, what I'd really like this year is for you to come to chapel with whatever particular background you have, just with kind of open minds and open hearts. And that's all we ever ask. It's all I ever ask of you. Not to come to think a certain way or to believe a certain way, but just come with open hearts, ready to participate with the community. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. I'm not going to say much more because, you know, we've probably gone on enough. And what we should do is sing another hymn. So we're going to sing the school hymn, hymn number 1, There's a Voice in the Wilderness. Please stand. Yeah, please be seated just for one more moment. There's an old piece of wisdom at Shawnigan that the quality of the year is determined by how the singing is at the first chapel. So what do you think? Thumbs up? Yeah. Yeah, that was just great. And it's going to be a great year, and it's so exciting to see you all. And I just want to add the warmest welcome to the headmaster. Have a wonderful year, and we'll see you in here next time.
And as part of this evening is educational, please stand. How we finish chapel is normally our wonderful organist plays a little bit for us. The staff who are up here will lead out. Normally the Rev will have gone with some students carrying the cross, and then as headmaster I lead and the other staff lead, and then the staff leave the building, and MCB will dispatch you carefully in an organized way. So if Trish gives us a few bars of organ music, some of us will lead away. Remain standing. Please remain silent, as Rev said, about respecting our space and respecting the gifts that have been given to you in a chapel service. Ready?